Today we're making these amazing, super flavorful Parmesan fried sage biscuits. They are so flaky, they just dissolve in your mouth like an angel's wing, I don't know what to say. And they are just like cheesy fried sage deliciousness. Also, not as difficult as you think. Let's get started. I'm actually excited because today is the first time I'm ever using a food processor ever. 2 cups of all-purpose flour into our food processor. I have the dough blade on right now, by the way. It's gonna help me when I'm pulsing the butter and flour and buttermilk and eggs together so I get nice little crumbly pieces. You of course know the secret to a good biscuit is having little clumps of butter inside of there, just like in pastry dough, because when you bake it, the butter will basically steam up and puff up, and then you will have a fluffy, risen biscuit, not some like hockey puck situation you have to pretend you're enjoying because someone made it for you. The more you know. Okay, 1 tablespoon of baking powder into there. 1 teaspoon kosher salt. If you're wondering, we always say kosher salt because the grain size is larger. If you're using table salt, it's a smaller grain. So basically, in any measurement, you're gonna get more table salt inside than kosher salt because of the grain size. There's more air between the grains if the grains are larger. There we go. And I'm gonna give it a couple pulses just so that it mixes up. It's literally the first time I'm using it. Pulse, pulse, pulse. Some beautiful Parmesan cheese. I'm just gonna grate it freshly. I love freshly grated cheese because there is more flavor to it, and a lot of the times when you buy a pre-grated cheese, they're mixing it with powders like cellulose, and cellulose, just FYI, is just pulped wood, so it's fine to eat wood. You're getting, you know, fiber, but I would like just the cheese, hold the tree. Okay, finally grate about 1 cup of Parmesan cheese. I'm gonna add my Parmesan cheese in now and just give it a quick pulse. I'm cutting 3/4 cup of cold unsalted butter into about 1-inch sized cubes. This butter needs to be cold, just like making pastry, because you want it to kind of maintain its structural integrity while you're pulsing it. You don't want it to become like a goo. And remember, you want to have little pellets of butter left over when you send this into the oven so you can't overwork it. Okay, into my food processor. It really is the first time I'm doing this, so I think that I need to use the actual metal blade. Let's give that a try, because the dough processing blade wasn't processing things. This is a user error. Back on there, and try that again. Pulse. Way better. Okay, let me show you the texture right now. Oh my god, I just learned a very, very valuable lesson about food processors. Good thing I have that emergency kit right next to me. There goes my career as a hand model. So let me show you the consistency of this. You can see it's crumbly. I have some big pieces, but I still have to mix in the wet stuff. I'm taking about 1/2 cup of this beautiful fresh sage, and I'm gonna fry it in some vegetable oil. Really easy, it only fries for maybe about 3 seconds. Heat your oil up, add a few leaves in at a time, turn them over about 1.5 seconds into frying, and then remove them carefully and place them on some paper towels. Sprinkle with salt and let them cool. My sage leaves are nice and room temperature and they're really crispy. I don't know if you can see, but like, I can crumble them up easily, which is what I want. I want crumbled pieces of this tasty sage. All right, I'm gonna crumble this up and just dump it in. Pulse. Now for the wet ingredients. I have 1/2 cup of cold buttermilk and 1 cold egg. When you make a cake, you want to have room temperature ingredients, but when you're making a pastry or biscuit, everything's going to be cold. Give it a quick whisk just to break the egg up. Okay, pour that in, close it, and let's pulse. Move your food processor aside. Now I'm going to lightly flour my work surface. Actually, actually liberally flour it. Careful. She's a killer. Love this tool they give you. It totally lets you get all the things out of that dangerous contraption. Okay. I love all the beautiful speckles of the fried sage. Can you see this? It's so gorgeous. It's a little wet, so I'm gonna flour the top a bit so it doesn't get stuck on my hands. I'm gonna knead it out just a couple of times. Maybe like 4 to 5. And last one. Okay. Now we're gonna roll it out, and here is where a lot of biscuit attempts fall flat. This is not a pastry dough. It's similar to a pastry dough, but it's not. You're gonna wanna roll it out maybe to be close to 1 inch thick. If you roll it out too thin, it won't puff up, and just nobody likes a flat biscuit. If you like a flat biscuit, let me know in the comments and I will apologize to you. But most people want a nice puffy, pillowy biscuit that they can pour something delicious onto it, either butter, 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 or gravy made mostly of butter. Okay, let's roll it out. Now we're gonna cut these using a smallish circle, size is your choice, but somewhere around 2 inches. You could just use a knife and make square rectangular ones, or triangular. It's totally up to you. Carefully press it out. That's nice. That'll puff up beautifully. So I have a little bowl of flour set aside, and in between each biscuit or every couple biscuits, I'm just gonna dip my cutter in there, get it nice and powdery, tap off the excess, and then I will cut my biscuit. I can see beautiful specks of butter in every single section of these, along with these amazing fried sage pieces. And off camera, I have eaten the dough, so I know it tastes good already. Place some parchment paper on top of your baking sheet. And now just place those biscuits. Now I could just pop these in, but you want them to have that beautiful golden brown color, which means you're gonna have an egg wash. Crack an egg, add a drop of cream, and give it a quick whisk. Take your pastry brush, and we're just gonna brush the top of each biscuit. These are going into my preheated oven at 425, and they'll bake for about 20 to 25 minutes until they're golden brown. I will probably be checking in on them halfway through and turning the pan around because my oven is not giving me even heat. So sad. Okay, into the oven. So this is amazing as is, but you know, gilding the lily is a thing. So let's put a little bit more butter on there, just for show, and take a bite. It's like a pillow made of bread and cheese and fried sage. It's so soft and just dissolves in your mouth. Oh my gosh. You have to make these. Let me know if you have any questions in the comments. I'm like on a cheese high right now. Hit that like button and don't forget to subscribe.